One of the things I tell young men, well, and young women as well, but the young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no, wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
I chose this world to be a warrior, and I would choose it again if I came back to this world. But the mentality of a warrior is very different than normal mentality. You must be that person on that door, get ready to open it, thinking to yourself, if I die, so be it.
It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
There's a statement in the New Testament, the meek shall inherit the earth, but the meek isn't well translated. It means something more like those who have swords and know how to use them but keep them sheathed will inherit the world. That's a way better way of thinking about it.
Like I want to wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go, come on, man, we're going running. Like I want to see what you do when you're tired. Let me see how you push yourself. Come on, man, get up again tomorrow, get up again tomorrow, get up again tomorrow. The next day, get up, keep going. How long can you maintain a positive attitude? Where's all this teaching? You're teaching people, you can't do shit yourself. You need to show people that you could do it.
You have to be powerful and formidable and then peaceful, in that order, right? And that's not the same as being naive and weak and harmless, which is what young men are being encouraged to be. It's like, that's a very bad idea. It's a very bad idea. Because naive, weak, and harmless means that you can't withstand the tragedies of life. You can't bear any responsibility. You'll end up bitter. And when you get bitter, then you get dangerous.
We have the ability to go in such a space if you're willing to suffer, and I mean suffer. Your brain and your body, once connected together, can do anything. And this 30 miles was the life-changing moment. I was out of it. I was in the worst pain of my entire life. I was, to me, on the brink of death. And I was able to chunk this 30 damn miles into small pieces. I was so driven, and I'm not gonna say motivated, because motivation's crap. Motivation comes and goes. When you're driven, whatever's in front of you will get destroyed.
But one thing I'm not getting, there's a big difference between letting people do something for themselves and saying men should be dangerous. By dangerous, that implies I should be ready to threaten someone, to hurt somebody.
No, you should be capable of it.
America has become so soft, it's actually, you know, it's a problem. And I tell kids all the time, if you even have this much savage in you, everything out there right now is for the taking. There was a point in time in the United States where you would look at different businesses and say, God, it's almost impossible to break into this business because it's been so established. And even the companies, all these companies that are so soft right now, everything out there is for the taking. If you have even this much savage in you, if you are willing to go out there and grind and work hard.
But it's like, oh, do you want to do this or not? Which is what I think a lot of it boils down to. Do you actually want to do this or not? Do you actually want to do this or not? Because if you actually want to do it, what's going to stop you? Nothing. And if you don't really want to do it, what's going to stop you? Just about anything that comes up. Just about any obstacle that gets in your way becomes an excuse. It becomes a reason, it becomes a rationale for not proceeding down that path.
What about talent?
Talent? I don't believe in talent. Well, some people, they have talent. It's good. It helps when you have talent. As long as you have a lot of determination and willpower, that's all you need. And you have to have the will to win.
Like if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control. If you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue. People who teach martial arts know this full well, right? If you learn a martial art, you learn to be dangerous, but simultaneously you learn to control it. Both of those come together. And the combination of that capacity for danger and the capacity for control is what brings about the virtue. Otherwise, you confuse weakness with moral virtue. I'm harmless, therefore I'm good. It's like, no, that isn't how it works. That isn't how it works at all. If you're harmless, you're just weak. And if you're weak, you're not going to be good. You can't be, because it takes strength to be good. It's very difficult to be good.
Comfort is a warm and enticing poison.
Yep.
and it's a slow poison.
Yep.
You can take a little bit of it on the couch, just relaxing.
And it is
take
nice.
a little of it. It's nice. But don't let that get into your veins, because it'll make the rest of your life harder, because you're going to encounter hard things. And if the hard thing that you don't voluntarily subscribe to, the hard thing that you don't force yourself into isn't harder than the other things in life, you're going to have a hard time managing.
Yeah, and it's voluntary.
It has to be voluntary.
You have to choose it.
You have to have discipline.
There's a lot of things in my life right now where I shrug my shoulders and go, okay. It's okay. Oh, someone's saying this. Okay. Roger that. But carry on. No factor. Move on. And then occasionally you go, okay, this is something I need to contend with. This is something I need to deal with. This is something I need to shape or adjust or move or solve, to use your word.
There's moments that you have, I'm sure, in your life where you look back. It might have been 10 years ago. You're like, fuck, why did I say that to that dude?
Yesterday.
I didn't need to. I didn't need to say that. I shouldn't have said that. Oh, God, I was just in the wrong place, wrong time, wrong headspace. Why did I do that? Oh, I was drunk. Why did I say that? Why did I do that? You know, those things, you should know those too. You don't absolve yourself of those things. Know those things are real. And just always constantly strive to do better.
You know, you're the closest to getting what you want is always the hardest. It's always the feeling when you're getting ready to, you know, people give up right before they get what they've always wanted to get. People quit and they give up. And I will not be the person who quit before I got what I wanted or what I needed or what I felt I was supposed to have, you know? Like, and if that wasn't for me, it wasn't for me. I'm gonna keep grinding, I'm gonna keep knocking on the door until I get what I feel.
The problem is when people fuck up, they think of themselves as that fuck up. And that's a difficult thing for someone with a bad past, like dudes have been in jail. It's really difficult for them.
That becomes their identity.
It becomes a part of who you recognize. That's a part of your behavior characteristics. You don't think of yourself as the best you when you made the right decision, when your friend calls you and you could tell him, I'm busy, bro, I can't help you. Be like, I could put that shit aside, go help my boy. And go help your friend. And then you show up for him. It's like, dude, you're here for me. Thank you, brother.
So much.
I appreciate it so much, man. And you're helping him fix his tire or move or whatever the fuck it is. Those moments, man, like unite human beings. They're like very, very important moments. And that's what everybody should strive for.
That's your moment. That's your moment. It's not that all is lost. When you're feeling the most trapped and down and nothing can go right, I feel like those are the moments that define you. Those are those character canon moments that are like, what am I gonna do now? You know? How do you respond to that?
My one golden rule to living a high performance life is never fear a storm. Learn to dance in the rain.